Yeah. It's about that time. Well, I say it's about that time. We're a little later than our usually scheduled time, but, we got to make adjustments sometimes. So, we're still getting this done. Tuesday night live streams, we're taking a massive look at a massive set of ROMs on the Legends Flashback. Can't be more excited about that. I've already looked through a lot of this. We looked through some of it on the review that we did. It just boggles the mind how much there is to do and where even to begin, because it's a little ridiculous when you look at what all is included. Just a lot of stuff. And so far, every one of these is a working file. I can't imagine what all we have here to work with. We've got different versions of games. I mean, look at all these different versions of Arcus Odyssey. I would love to play this, all three, for whatever it's going to be. We're already joined by Uncle Strange. We're already joined by J.R. John Rogers. Welcome, guys. Tuesday night live streams. Later than usually scheduled again, but we're still getting it done. Yeah, there's just so much to do here. And I've already thought a little bit about what we're going to do today. But we needed to look. We needed to just kind of tour it and see what all is on there. And one game I wanted to play today is not one that it's not necessarily rare. It's not necessarily not rare. It's not necessarily uncommon or not uncommon. What is up, Mervin? Looking forward to this. Are these all 16-bit games? Yes, they are. No TurboGrafx 16. This is all Mega Drive and Sega Genesis. Now, what all this thing can run, we still have other updates we have to run. We are joined by Liam Nova. Welcome, Liam Nova, to the stream. If you are just joining us on the Emceemur Show, it is time for Tuesday night live streams. Make sure that you drop a like on this video. Make sure that you subscribe to the Emceemur Show if you have not already subscribed to the Emceemur Show. First up, and again, we're going to tour all through the list here, but we're going to stop off right here, and we're going to look at some BattleTech. Let's talk about BattleTech. If you don't know about BattleTech, you need to know about BattleTech. SNEStalgia is here. Welcome, SNEStalgia. BattleTech is awesome. If you played the tabletop game back in the day, it was killer. Killer strategy, RPG, killer miniatures, killer maps. BattleTech was really, really fun. And it spawned a whole series of other games, Mech Warrior, PC games, and there were console games too, and this is one of them. Lucky Collectors here. Welcome, LC. This game here was made in the image of the Strike Series games. If you're not familiar with the Strike Series games, just think a little bit harder, because I bet that you are familiar with the Strike Series games. Urban Strike, Desert Strike, Jungle Strike, Forest Strike, Ocean Strike. There were strikes everywhere. There were EA games. They were the big cartridges. You were basically in a helicopter. You're doing some objective-based missions and proceeding onward. And that's what this was. It was made in that image, but it was a BattleTech game. I am subscribed, actually. Mainly Gaming sent me a while back. That's close enough. I think he would have wanted the E on there because he's in Maine. That would be the only thing that he might mark off points for, but I'm not going to hold it against you. Yeah, Mainly Gaming, man. He's good people. I like old Mainly. John Rogers says, my back is killing me. I'm working too hard. Mine is killing me as well. But Liam Nova, glad you're subscribed. Glad to have you as part of Mer Nation. It's time to play some BattleTech. Look at that dadgum Mad Cat. That thing is stacked with long-range missiles. It is not playing around. So, Robert Mitchell says, ooh, a mech game. I love those. The only thing that this doesn't do as well as Mech Warrior is, again, it's made in the image of the Strike games. And if you like Jungle Strike, Urban Strike, Desert Strike, you're going to like this. Especially if you liked BattleTech. Draconis Combine going against House Carita. We're coming out with a big Mad Cat. LRM-15s. If you never played Mech Warrior, you really need to. Emulate it. The old PC Mech Warrior from 1989. One of the most killer frickin' simulator games of all time. With role-playing elements, missions, character development. It was absolutely fantastic. Customizing the mechs, changing out the parts, the colors, the systems. It was just fantastic. Everything that it did. Not as much of that going on here. You're in a Mad Cat. That's great. Mech Warrior 2, by the way, is also pretty killer on the PS1. You can also play a version of Mech Warrior on the SNES that is nowhere near as in-depth as the PC version, but still pretty cool to play. It does not, however, feature the same mechs from BattleTech. I don't know why they sidestepped it. Maybe licensing, but if you had a license to make it the first time, it'd be like having Sesame Street with a small bird instead of Big Bird. It just wouldn't make sense. All right, so here we go. Now, you have to check out your... Oh my god, dude. Mech Warrior on PC? Dude, what's up? I mean, I need to get a drive for this thing because I've got them all in a DOS box thing. But I've got Crescent Hawk's Revenge, Crescent Hawk's Inception, the original Mech Warrior, which that's enough for me. We'll just play that. I would love to stream that series. What a freaking amazing game. And yeah, hopefully we'll get to where we can stream that on here too. But yeah, looking right here, you got to figure out at least you can customize your loadout for this particular mech. You got the Gauss rifle, you got a Seeking missile, and then you've got the PPC. So I'm going to go with a PPC. I like the machine gun, but I think we're going to go for the large laser. I know, that's right. I got my little buddy back here behind me, my co-pilot. Babysitting and streaming at the same time. The Thunder Minefield is pretty cool, but we're going to do the long-range missile, I think. That's good. Mech Warrior 2 on the PS1 is neat. That's one I'd like to stream in the future. I believe those are called elementals, the little power armors that the dudes are wearing on the ground. Oh, I'm in an airstrike. Dadgummit. Aerotech was its own game, you know, an expansion. And then City Tech also. So you had all kind of different techs there to add on in the tabletop version. I have got the tabletop version put away. It's been many years since I've played Battletech, though I really need a refresher on the rules. Getting tore up by freaking jets. We're taking out the satellite field, though, as ordered. Getting tore up. But I think we've taken out the field. Now I think we're going to have to go back and get some coolant. You've got some stuff waiting on you back here that you can get when you need it. And I guess now is as good time as any. And you get hit, it builds up your heat. Oh, we got another mech coming here. And it's unclear if that's a Wasp. It looks like a Veritech, so... And he dropped some coolant. Good man. The Veritechs and Robotech looked exactly like the jets in Battletech. I guess they just took the model. Badoosh. Tanks. Infantry. Elementals. I just installed Monster Hunter World. You know, one day I'll get around to trying that. We got another mech in our midst. And you know, you take so much damage so quickly with this. If you really looked at the numbers to scale and technical readouts, the Mad Cat is a lot tougher than they're giving it credit for here. That's a big dude. You would not be going up against that with some of these peen-anty little mechs they're coming after it with. You would be getting tore back. You'd be getting skinned. Haven't even fired the PPC yet. We got somebody coming. He's going to get PPC. Oh, I got smoked. I'm playing some Super Mario RPG while I watch. There ain't a dadgum thing wrong with that. I beat that game through twice. I would do it again, too. Finished AC Odyssey yesterday. You know what? I gotta finish Origins. I'm not even ready to play that yet. And Origins is so good, man. So I can only imagine that Odyssey is too. Got him, but dadgum, they're ripping me up. Been a pretty stressful evening, so it's nice to unwind here. Well, I'm glad I can provide some place for you to unwind. It's been a little stressful here too. All work and no play, but we're working through it. And I'm just getting smoked. Look at all these mechs. Okay, I gotta get the coolant, gotta get the coolant, gotta get the coolant. Smoking him. I don't know if firing... I don't think the weapons actually give you the heat in this game, whereas the heat is just your damage. In a normal Mech Warrior game, heat and damage would be two completely different things. Oh, I'm getting strafed. Hey, Tyler Mason on the scene. Welcome, TM. How does a gun battery withstand a shot from a PPC? It wouldn't happen. Couldn't happen. This was another one of the, so the mech bays are destroyed. That's why there were so many mechs here. Yeah, I plan to play Odyssey, man. I'm a Greek mythology nut. Whenever we get to that part in, in history and some of the stuff that we study in Molly's homeschool, I always really get overzealous into the mythology. Even though it's all made up, I still feel like you gotta know it. It's super cool. And a house full of dice rollers, game players, and role players, it's just comes with the territory. You need to know that stuff. Coolant. .005 made it do a live stream. Good deal. We're glad to have you. The more the merrier. Again, start a little later than we usually do, but that's okay. We got a lot of great things to look at tonight. Wadabadarash. Oh, those planes know right where we're at, don't they? I feel like we're homing in on the win here. Oh, come on. Coolant. I almost don't want to get that yet. Okay, now I'll get it. Just don't tell my boss. I don't know your boss, so you know what? The odds of me actually telling him are slim to none. I think you're in good shape. Oh, it's on now. Oh, I think we stepped in it up to our ears here, ladies and gentlemen. Just blow everything up. Coolant! Blowing all you fools up. Compound destroyed. Take out the Aerotech hangars in the eastern sectors. I thought we'd already went all the way to the east. What else is there? I mean, we're about to get smoked again. ED209's coming out. He does have that look about him, doesn't he? Officially, this is a Mad Cat of Battletech fame. And yes, it's Vader time. Vader's here. Here's the hangars right here. Coolant. Dadgummit, right before I get the coolant, he's... Oh my god, we were so close to victory. Yeah, you need to play this game. If you loved the Strike games, this is a really cool game. Dadgummit. Chauncey Talon is here. Welcome, CT, to Tuesday night live streams. My failure to destroy the DCMS compound has sealed our fate. House Corrida is taken over. There's nothing we can do. It's all over. But you know what? That's a great look at this game. Again, this is a tour. We got to look at a few different games tonight. I would like to come back and do a stream just on this game. I used to be much better at it, but man, I'm going to tell you what. It's a difficult game sometimes. Did I like the Mech Warrior games? Loved them. Both the book ones and the PC game. Just, oh my god. You have no idea how much time I spent on Mech Warrior. Just ridiculous amounts of playtime. So... love it to death. You don't get caught playing Beast Wrestler. I want to play that game. I love the Mech Warrior games. Dude, Mech Warrior is... And you know, Super Nintendo Mech Warrior was good. Not as good... I mean, kind of spin-off-y from the actual Mech Warrior on PC. They're really not much alike, but still a great game. Video Game Lover 58 is here. Welcome, VGL58, to our... I won't say impromptu. We're scheduled tonight, but a little bit late getting started episode of Tuesday Night Live Streams. Now, there's another game I want to look at. Blades of Vengeance would be a good one to do while we're here. There's another one I want to look at. A game that does not get much recognition. If this ROM setup has one Achilles heel, it's that you've got to scroll through it all. There's no quick flip through the letters. It's all numbers. It's actually quite late here, so I think I'll do some meditation. Hey, meditation could help get some rest. Liam Nova, thank you for stopping by. Great to have you in the live stream. Fantastic of you to stop by. Nightcore Hitman. It has been a while. Glad to see you on the scene. I think last I saw you might have been on Twitch. If my memory serves correctly, I think I still auto-host you on there. We're in the M's. We got to get to the S's on this one. Sorcerers Kingdom is the game I'm talking about. Stop me if you played that one. I don't think you have, because you probably hadn't heard of it. Sorcerers Kingdom is kind of role-playing. I don't know. It's hard to describe what it is, but it's one of those games, and Jason Joseph can tell you, because we used to hang out in the old crib way back in the day, and we'd look at my wall of games and be like, God, what do we play, dude? And we'd have to pick a number off the random chart. And just pick a game, because there's no way you can decide. And sometimes you'd end up playing games that you'd never played before, and it was like, okay, what is this? Is this good? I don't know. Pop it in. But this was one of those games. God, is there enough dadgum Sonic on here? Sorcerers Kingdom. Hulk just twitching when wounded. Woodbury and Retro Game Hunter is here. Do I like Mortal Kombat? I don't not like Mortal Kombat. It's fun. I'm more of a Street Fighter guy, though. Trico was a publisher that did not do a lot of games. Street Smart, I think, was a game I picked up by them recently. It's kind of rare. This is a good game. Glad to see you, Woodbury. Great to have you here. This is a neat game. If you like role-playing games, if you're a 16-bit role player, everybody gets it twisted that Super Nintendo is the only place you can get your RPG on. Not true. The reason they get that rap, though, is because the franchises, the properties that you would play on there are the ones that are more well-known. You know, you're not playing no Final Fantasy on the Sega side. But, this right here is a great example of what it can do. Well, you should consider trying Murray if you can get it to run on here. Yeah. Shoot it to me. We're trying to do all kind of things to this thing. We even rolled dice to predict a game to play. You had to. There were so many numbers. New game. Yeah, we're trying to hack this thing out and get it to run NES ROMs with another update. And that's going to be another episode yet again. But it's going to happen. He went to destroy the evil. You don't get caught destroying evil. Try UMKT, Ultimate Mortal Kombat, for Genesis. It's a UMK3 hack. Well, you know what? There's no guarantee it's not already on here, because this is a pretty extensive ROM set. So if there's ROMs out there for it, chances are it is here. And I'll be glad to check as we progress on through the list here. Are you still going to do your D&D series? That's a great question, SNES, and the answer is mixed. We've actually already done a series, a session, Canadian Retro and I actually, and I'm not saying that other people aren't going to be invited to join this group when it gets going, but right now we're experimenting with the overlays, dice cams, and how we're going to run it in a Google Hangout setup so that it looks good. But we're not going to do it on this channel. I'm going to have to do a separate channel for that, because it's not what I'm doing here, and it could be an algorithm killer if it doesn't catch on. So I can't stop my momentum with the gaming channel, and I can't separate my audience if there are people that don't want to see that, because really the prep videos we did not do well in numbers. So that's the long answer. But yeah, we are still going to do it. Yeah, it should be great, man, and we're going to need, a group, and it doesn't mean that'll be the only group, But we're working on it, so it's just something that's kind of had to have a setback while we prepped it. Why wasn't Rygar ever released on Sega? I don't know, I guess it was licensing. It was Tecmo, wasn't it, Rygar? I think they just didn't have them in their pocket or whatever, and later on down the line, Rygar stayed. I mean, there was Rygar on the Wii, but it was also on PS2 And I think Xbox, too. I think it was just Sega didn't get any love on the Rygar. Doesn't like different. Yeah, that's it. Come back when your quest is complete. Do we really want to battle this guy? I haven't played this in 20 years. So I guess this is one of those where you can battle people in the town, and we probably don't want to do that. We have no gold. Do we have weapons yet? Surely we do, right? You can already see what kind of game this is. Back on point. Walk around the town, talk to everybody, assemble a party a la Phantasy Star style, do your quests, go all over the place, that kind of thing. That's the thing is, you know, I realize there's a rhyme and a reason to how you get the traffic and what you got to do to be big. And I'm not trying to copy anybody else necessarily. I definitely am not going to do that. But I feel like there's enough trending stuff that I am personally into to where I don't have to sacrifice my integrity to still have some growth and still make sure everybody's into what we're doing here. So that's the goal. Like all the plug and plays we're doing lately, that's all stuff that people are genuinely interested in, but I'm genuinely interested in it. I'm not just doing it for views. I'm doing it because I'm collecting them and because I'm into it. Right, exactly. Alright, we are actually just looking to fight here, and I'm caught up in a log cabin. Wild Boy's here. I dig it, like Final Fantasy 1. Let's battle them up. So it's turn-based still. Uh-oh, another kobold. Now I want to concentrate on one target. And I'm dead. So apparently I have pooped bigger than my butt. Ferd is dead. Poor Ferd. For ages, the crown. Okay, well, you got to look at it, all right? I'm not going to play the whole game, obviously. This game took me like, God, I don't know. I think it was at least 40 hours. But that's one that's just not talked about. I don't ever hear anybody talk about Sorcerers Kingdom. It was a good game. I enjoyed it start to finish. So while we are here, super working our way down. I'm looking for Super Off-Road if it was on here. Yeah, there it is. Super Off-Road was such a great game, man. Ferd is a turd. Super Off-Road was a game that we used to rent all the time. And interesting enough, Ballistic was the publisher on this one. I don't think they were anything on Super Nintendo. Soldier Boy videos! I ordered something from GameStop. Man, that's, you know, when you order something from GameStop, you know that you may not get what you paid for. That's the input. So you're doing that so that you can make a video about it. To create the problem so that you can then complain about it? Come on, we know better than that. Don't order retro games from GameStop. You can trade them in there if you want to, if they're going to give you more than eBay value. Sometimes they do. GameStop serves its purpose, and I still do business there. But yeah, I'm not ordering my Final Fantasy from there. Well, we can't quite be Ferd, so we'll just be Fur. And Soldier Boy, yeah, I don't want to hear anything else about that guy. Mr. Venegas is here. Welcome, Mr. V. The Speed Shop. We've got a little bit of cash, so we're going to bump up the acceleration. And we're going to save our money. We're not going to waste it on nitros yet. God, I used to go down to Kroger and rent this for 99 cents and just have the weekend you wanted done. Yeah. I think I'm out in front with my acceleration. I'll catch up on the chat in just a minute, but this is some rough stuff here. Yellow's trying to pull ahead. We'll try to cut him off on the inside here. Not wasting my nitro. Oh, dadgummit, he got me. I think I just I think I just got disqualified. I'm fired. I'm fired from off-roading. I just came in last. We had it going so good, too. Game Over 86 is here. Yeah, man, I can't wait to see that, man. That's intense. I figured Captain would want it, but I kept forgetting that he actually has all the games for Odyssey that he wanted. So, yeah, I need to up my game in that department. I just lost that race bigger than farts. Bigger than farts. Start the next race. Come on, I'm better than that. I can win. There's some prize money. It was worth it. What a fun game this was. And if you were playing two-player, you could totally screw over the other player. Knocking them off the... Oh, man, there was some prize money right there, and I wasn't there in time to get it. You turd, get out of my way. I know, that's crazy. Oh, if that had only been the last lap. Oh my god, we're picking up some ridiculous speed, but here comes Blue. You turd. I love this game, Arcade and Home. Yeah, I don't have an Odyssey 2, no need for... Yeah, you know, if it's not something you collect, I just did that trade with CM Retro, all that Atari stuff. He didn't want any of that. So... I gave him some stuff that he would use, so we're going to bump up that acceleration. Look at that, dude. We'll get one nitro with some insurance. I get two. We'll pick up some cash on the road, right? I remember the arcade was a three... Was it a three-player? I guess it was. I don't remember playing this too much in the arcade, but I know that I did. I can't picture the cabinet, though. But I think I played most of this just right here on the Genesis. Played some of the NES one, but more of the Genesis, because at the time I was really getting into this, it was out on the Genesis, and again, I would rent it, 99 cents. Couldn't get enough. Kroger was the bomb, dude. Or Ingles. Jason knows he's an Ingles man. Ingles video department, man, had 99-cent game rentals. That punk took the money. Speeding up. Here we go. Oh, that wasn't worth it. That wasn't worth it. I totally ding-donged it. I'm over. I'm done. I'm over. I got greedy. I needed to replenish what I had lost, though. We're back in it. Used the nitro. Alright, we still got third. What did my Nightbot do? I didn't see. I thought I quieted it down. I told him only to pipe in every 20 minutes. He was talking too much. But just ignore him. He doesn't know. He's a bot. Pre-order the newest MLB, so hyped. Yeah, the show's usually pretty good every year. I don't have quite enough to get another acceleration, but I think some tires would come in handy. So we'll get tires, a nitro for an insurance package, and let's begin. I love the different tracks in this, man. It's so much fun to play. Oh my god, I had Waffle House for dinner and I'm belching it. It's killing me. You probably didn't want to know that, but I thought I'd share. Oh, come on with it. Am I DQ'd? I think I'm DQ'd. No, look at this. Look at this travesty on the frickin'... Yeah, you better not. Yeah, you gotta make those flags wave or you're not doing nothing. I think that's a nitro right there. I love this because it plays just like Super Sprint. And you know, it reminds me a little of RC Pro-Am too. Not completely, but in its nature, you know. Obviously a different animal, but... And another good one that y'all probably have heard about, most of y'all are gaming vets, but if you haven't, is Rock and Roll Racing. Rock and Roll Racing really is like RC Pro-Am, but with laser guns and missile launchers, and I just lost the race. But I highly recommend Rock and Roll Racing, available on both Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis if you have not already tried it. It also features actual chip-tune versions of songs like Black Sabbath's Paranoid and stuff like that for you to jam to while you race. So it's cool. They had some licensing in there as well as just a cool game. Ooh, and Battle Cars on Super Nintendo. If you haven't played Battle Cars, that's a Super Nintendo exclusive Namco game. Very unknown about freaking Namco game. Dadgummit! I went for the Nitro for the insurance package. That was... Oh... iSuck.com. That's Super Off-Road. Making our way down the list. RC Pro-Am Nitro was ridiculous. Never played Rock and Roll Racing, but I remember seeing it at the Round Store. Yeah, Battle Cars was intense, man. But Rock and Roll Racing's cool. If you ever get a chance to try it out, you will really like it. The DS version. I think you're talking about Chrono. Have you opened the MK figs? I have not. I don't want to open them, to be honest with you. I just... I do and I don't. It's tough. I've got some Ninja Turtles that I picked up, you know, about a year back at a storage locker sale. Tavern RPG? What is this? In the what was I? But yeah, Mr. V, I just can't bring myself to do it. My son has looked at them and he wants to open them and I can't let him do it either. He's only 2. What is this unfinished BS? But yeah, those are killer figs, man. But I gotta say, the coolest thing that I won from you in that giveaway, Mr. V, was probably that Legend of Zelda DX. I did not have that. Wow, you're a barbarian. They didn't even put the text down there in the bottom. Look at this. And yes, make sure that you hit the like button. Caress it. Well, this is obviously not finished. But, you know, that's part of the oddities in some of these ROM sets, is you just don't know what you're going to see. So. Let's see. We're going to go by the U's, so we'll check on the Ultimate Mortal Kombat that you were asking about. Mortal Kombat 3... You said it was Mortal Kombat T, didn't you? Yeah, it's just Mortal Kombat 3, Mortal Kombat 3, Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. We didn't miss it on... what is this? It's misspelled on these, so I have no idea what that'll allow. Not exactly what we're looking for, though, I don't think. But if that's out there in a ROM, I mean, I could put it on here. We could look at it in a future episode. Speaking of the Strike games, Urban Strike, different versions of that. So, you know, again, most of the 5,000, yeah, the game selection screen's rough, but when it doesn't know, you know, when you put 5,000 ROMs on it, it's doing good to read them. It doesn't have, you know, an interface in place for it, unfortunately, but... It's technically not supposed to, but But, you know, small price to pay to get to mess with it, I guess. But it is a pain in the butt going through 5,000 to get to something that, oh man, it starts with a W. Brandon Friesen Factor is here, man. BFF, I heard the theme song that Captain is working on, and that's some classic Captain right there. But man, that's good. That's good. I can't wait to see that implemented on your show. There's a game that I wanted to look at on here that we looked at in the review, and I don't know if it was this one or what it was, but it made me think of Jason when I was, because we used to love games that were good fighters that had good moves in it, and this Yu Yu Hakusho really had some moves. So I'm going to tell you what, if this is the one I'm thinking of, I think it is. And this little chick was the one. He did nail it. He knocked it out. Does it have save state or save features? Yes, it does have the save states. Just like the original games on the system stock, you can use the save states the same way. Backup features, all the same stuff still applies to the ROM. So that's pretty cool. Oh, I love how she grapples him and just ribs. Ribs. Oh, he's hating it. Ribs. Maduga! Madaga! Oh, look at that punch. I mean, the graphics are a little crude, but I'm liking the fighting on here. It's kind of neat. I know this is an anime, a show, or whatever. I'm not extremely familiar with it other than just the Yu Yu Hakusho branding itself within games. But, yeah, we looked at this on here just because obviously this isn't something that a normal Genesis fan would probably just have laying around. These are Mega Drive games, and this was kind of cool. I was digging the moves. Oh, okay, okay. Oh, Hadouken! 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 I got that Hadouken! You win! Perfect! Yu Yu on Genesis was amazing. So was the Dragon Ball games. You know, I've always tried to get into Dragon Ball, and I've just never understood what was going on in the show. It's cool, and I get why everyone's into it. I just never could follow the storyline. Let's play Pit Fighter. Don't tempt me. Don't you tempt me to play Pit Fighter. Only recently realized I have the arcade version of Pit Fighter on a Midway collection on the PS2. How long have I had that? And what is this thing in the who and the what was I? Look at the shoulders on this thing. Yeah, Mike Hager doesn't mess around. Reminds me of Ranma. It does! She definitely looks the part, doesn't she? Had a few chances to pick up some of the Ranma games on Super Nintendo back in the day at a place that we used to shop at, and they were overpriced, so I just didn't. And Jason took care of that place for me. One time we were in there, and the guy offered him a bad trade deal, and Jason took his Copenhagen out of his lip and threw it on the floor and scuffed it into the guy's carpet with his heel and said, well, I'm not going to say what he said because this is a family-friendly show and we don't want the algorithm to pick up on it, but he told him what was up and ruined his carpet, and that's a story that we talk about to this day. I don't think we can get the AtGames Legend in Australia. I don't think you can either, but all you need is a 5.0 volt whatever amp power supply, just like a 3DS charger or whatever. And you could order one from the States and just use, you know, whatever you would use that's that same amp on your soil over there, and it would work. In fact, the Commodore 64 Mini, I had to end up getting out of Europe because they didn't come over here at that point. They have now, with a different game set, of course. You got to buy it twice. But they didn't even come with a power supply, which was fine because it wouldn't have done me any good anyway if it was a European plug or however. I don't know, the toilet swirl a different direction back then. Who knows? I had to get my own power supply, but it wasn't a big deal. I had the one I needed. First SNES game I stole was Pit Fighter. Yeah, it's a good thing you didn't pay for it because it was terrible. God, the Super Nintendo one was awful. But it's still Pit Fighter. You gotta play it. This dude is huge. Who's that? Tarzan on his shoulder? But kind of a cool game. I just want to look at that. We all did things we regret when we were young. We were crazy. Vader doesn't like bad trades. Jason even might feel a little bad about Kathak the Copenhagen on his carpet, but I doubt it. There's Copenhagen on my carpet and it's not what I'm wanting done. Alright, so while we're here, and we've still got some time, let's look at... Oh, that's not what I did. That's not what I did. We're not looking at Barney's hide and seek. That's its own episode there. We're not looking at that. I think most everybody has heard of Blades of Vengeance, but if you haven't, we'll take a look at it real quick. It's, I think Metal Jesus might have done a hidden gem thing on it not too long ago. I can't remember who did, but it's one I've had. I bought it since it was like new. It just looked like my kind of game. It had great music. And I don't know if this ROM file is working. Luckily, there are 15 more of it. Yeah, let's pick a different Blades of Vengeance file. And you see, we've had pretty good luck so far tonight. You know, there's been no issues with the files up till this point. But there may be a couple of them that are not good and a couple of them that are just incomplete. So... Blades of Vengeance. So you got 3 characters you can pick, a la Golden Axe. The part about this game that there's kind of a flaw is that they really are the difficulty levels without saying that they are. And yes, I second that. Back when EA could do no wrong. I didn't pick him. Oh, they didn't pick anybody. You stayed too long, it resets it. Give me a minute to pick. The wizard's the easiest one to use. We'll use the dude. I think dude's second and the woman is third. The wizard's got a projectile, so that's easy mode. Oh, excuse me, I got that wrong. The girl is actually the next level down, and the dude is the hardest. Because when he gets his armor upgrade later, he has this stupid little ball on a string that he hits people with, and it only goes up and down. But all your enemies are in front of you, pretty much. So it's absolutely useless. And you just got to think, who in the world would design a game like that? We got DB to play this for the first time Monday. I'm sure, I mean, if you give this game a chance, it's really... neat. I mean, it's got some blood, it's got hidden areas, it's got hidden items. But you know, the whole gist of this stream is that all of this and more can be yours with this great ROM set. This is kind of a little hidden area right here when you fall under the bridge. You want to get up as much money as you can get because you get into these stores and you want to be able to buy stuff. I think this is a fall through right here. Yep. Boop. It's amazing how you just don't forget. Health potion. Yeah, I loved this game, man. I beat it, and I haven't beat it since probably 1997. That's probably the last time I remember actually being good at this game. See, he can't even hit down on the guy because he can't go beneath his knee. The wizard, though, could just shoot the projectile, and the poop would roll downhill, and you'd get him, so... I should do infomercials. I wonder what they pay. With the speed talking I do. What letter are you on? I'm back to B, but I can be on any letter I need to be. We just happen to scroll all the way through there. And that's part of the tour. Anybody that's watching saw me go through every one of the pages, so you can always pause certain parts of this presentation and see, oh yeah, that is on there. I saw it. I thought there was... No, it's right here, isn't it? There's a pass-through here. And maybe he can't get to it. Might as well get the healing potion out because you're going to need it. I've played this. This game is rad. It is rad with a capital R. I think we're fixing to hit a boss fight here. Handles like Astyanax. It does. It looks a lot like that. Man, this is cool, but is it worth it if you have a pie? No, but at the time I got it, I didn't have a pie, and I can tell you, unless you know a lot about pies and you're going to set it up yourself, Pies aren't even worth it. I had mine done, and you know, I have yet to see where they actually did the job on it I wanted them to do, but I'm working with them on it before we actually look at it and review it. I need to be self-sufficient on that, and I own that. I need to get more literate in Raspberry Pi, but you know, and I can tell you, I was never one to. I never had a problem with emulation. I understood the reason why you would want to do it. So that's a power up. That means you're going to hit harder. But I never needed to do it, you know. And we always took great pride in that. Even in the later years, we were playing on original hardware. But now, you know, especially on... Oh, God, he took fall damage. From a YouTube standpoint, especially, for streaming and for ease of streaming and for resolution's sake, you almost need to emulate. For your viewers' sake. And there's ways around that. I just got the cool digital box for the AV to HDMI. It's a little better than what I was using. If this thing ever gets its shots off, you're dead. You'll never kill it. It just keeps a steady rhythm of BS, and I just missed out on a chest. Jason, thank you much for stopping by. Double J, always great to have you in the stream, reminiscing on some great microplay game store memories. Good stuff. In the late 90s, man, game collecting was the Wild West because there was no big YouTube followings and game chasing and collecting, and you know, it just there was no market. They were just throwing that stuff away. And some of those places did know what they have, and they were kind of getting a head start on being, you know, scalpers like that, but as far as just people selling them and yard sales and stuff, people just didn't want it. And I told this story a million times to some of you that are, you know, regulars on the show. Oh, there's a fall through here. Thank God, 'cause I was about to die. You know, no, wait, resume. I'm not done. There it is. I bought a complete in box TurboGrafx with games for $10 at a yard sale in 1999, and they couldn't have been happier to get rid of it, you know. And now I let that eyeball catch its rhythm, and now I'm dead as a doornail. We're not even going to make it to the boss fight. If I had the wizard, I'd guarantee you we'd be there with bells on. But that's Blades of Vengeance, so that's a good one if you have not played through it. There was a Blaster Master 2. I believe it's a Genesis exclusive. There was another game I wanted to look at. I can't remember what it was. While we're here, son, that is loud. Thanks for that. Let's see what we have in the way of... Wait, there was a black... Okay, alright. Yes, there was. That's what I thought when I found it, too. Not on here. I bought it physical back in the day. Probably long after it came out, because who knew? That wasn't marketed. No, there weren't commercials about that on Saturday morning cartoons. Blaster Master 2? There was a Blaster Master Still Blasting that came out for the PS1. Amazing finds that you have years ago at garage sales, even thrift, now competing with... Yeah, dude, it was the Wild West back then. You could have anything you wanted done. Now, it's just plain wild. You know, we're in a college town here. The thrift stores and all that, they're bought out. And if anything hits it, most of the younger folks, a lot of them people work there. They know people that work there. Good stuff doesn't even get put out at our Goodwills around here. They take it home. You don't get it. You got to travel out in the sticks if you really want to get some good stuff around here. But then again, I mean, Captain has a good look at his Goodwills out where he is. It just depends on where you're at and the kind of people that are in that area, if they're into doing this or not. Blaster Master 2 licensed by Sega Enterprises. Yes, it's here. And it's pretty much what you think it would be. If you haven't played the reboot on the Switch of Blaster Master, it is pretty cool. But as you can see, this is not without its charm right here. Again, it's exactly what you think it is, and it makes my heart happy that the little enemies look like Zentradi battle pods from Robotech. Whew, clocked out freedom. Oh, you're done with work. I was about to say, I'm not sure I follow you, but I do now. Alright, so we need to get out of the... Oh my god, I need this. How do I get out of my car? That's what I... This is another one. It's probably been 20 years since I looked at this. Well, if I got out, I wouldn't last long. Start pauses it, so that's not it. That's jump, that's shoot. C would do a special shot if I had it. Okay, you're not going to crank up the jam that loud, buddy. He's jamming on his little beat mixer. My 2-year-old studying to be a DJ already. Yeah, it's cooler than I'm making it look, I'll tell you that. I'm obviously lost here and don't know how to get out of my own dadgum car. Speaking of that Bumblebee buzzing around too, that's another game that's really cool that we'll look at. Oh, we got a little bit more time. I'm not going to sell this experience short, of course. I wonder how you get out of the dadgum car. Anybody that wants to Google that, feel free. So of course you got to get out of your car eventually to go explore. My gaming life is a failure. Why? Because you missed the... Don't feel bad, man. I discovered this by accident. I think it was even at that store I was just talking about where Jason put Copenhagen on his carpet. I think it was a loose cart, and I was like, Blaster Master, what was it now? I lost my who at the where was I? Yeah, well, wasn't leaving that there. Ooh, special shot. So yeah, so now we got some special shots going, just like NES Blaster Master. But in that game, you'd hit down in the shoot to do it because you wouldn't have had 3 buttons. Select would have got out of your car in that, but there's no select game, so yeah, it ain't start. And I'm on a 6 button and ain't none of this working. Went down the mine shaft. But yeah, how cool is this though in concept and in theory? Anybody that's a fan of the series, you would want to play this. If you haven't played, and oh, in Ice, you're just getting started, you know, I'm sending you the hookups for that PS1, so you'll be able to get this. It's actually not an expensive game. Again, Blaster Master, Blasting Again, which sounds like a joke movie title for a ridiculous amount of Blaster Masters. But it's real, and it's kind of a 3D, like Mario 64 type Blaster Master, a go anywhere, do anything Blaster Master. I've got it. I haven't played very much of it, but it seems cool. So, moving right along. I obviously don't know how to get out of the vehicle, so my success is going to be limited here till I look back up and remember how to do that. But I'm not going to waste what time we have left Googling and farting around with it. Point is, you got to see it. It exists. One more game we're going to look at. It's a shmup. Didn't look at any shmups tonight, I don't think. It's another one that I'm sure some bigger tubers have probably done videos on back in the... Or maybe not. I don't know. I don't remember seeing one. But it's another game that I rented back in the day and just thought was so great. So let's go there. We'll conclude on that. June 1990. How about just the game? Insector X. I checked to see if it was there, Nightcore. It was not. It was just, I mean, there were 8 different Mortal Kombat files, but none of them named what you had. But I'm going to get John at Gen X to look through where he gets these files from, his sources, and I'll tell him to look for it. If he can do it, he can put it on a file, zip it over to me, and I can add it to this very easily by putting it in the folder, and it'll be there for next time. Sounds interesting enough. But this right here, man, in Sector X. You're not just in Sector X, it's Insect or X. This is a great game. Makes me think of Biohazard Battle too. That was another good one, but this was very unique. Sage's Creation. Oh, that just reminded me. Sage's Creation made the other game that we were supposed to look at. You can shoot a link, yeah, because then I can come back in here later and I can see it. It'll save it on the chat replay. Not Sorcerers Kingdom. It was going to be Shadow Blasters. Dadgummit. I don't think we're going to have time to do both. We might. Let's just play a little of this real quick. So you're an insect man, right? Look at this. This is so cool. Power-ups, it's exactly what you think it is. But shmups are all in the theme and in the weapons and in the backgrounds and in the music, and I think this delivers on all fronts. It's just cool. Sorcerers Kingdom, me and J-Town, you've seen Double J J-Town co-host with me a few times. We popped that in on a game night we were having over here probably a couple years back. And, oh, God, we left that game in until we beat it. And it didn't take long. It wasn't a hard game, but it was just a cool game. And there's different characters, and there's a lot of ways you can play. I'm reading the chat and dying. The SD card reader doesn't go over 16 gigs. No, it does not. It has to be 16 gigs or below, which is kind of a pain in the butt when you think of it, because if you want to add the ROMs about all the systems that we've talked about, you're going to need 2 separate cards. But that's not a big deal. Get a case to hold them in, swap them out. You're swapping out 2 cartridges to play, you know, like 12,000 games, so. Still not as effective or efficient as a Pi, I guess, if you want to get right down to it. But also, I love the picture on this. It's good. Waffle Floofer Woofers here. Welcome, Double F. Great to see you back on Tuesday night live streams. I'm smoked. So in Sector X, I gotta recommend that one because it's cool. We're almost out of time here, but I do want to look at Shadow Blasters. We have a few minutes left, and we're gonna do that. Going through it. Langrisser's on here. Stuff that if you're not going to be able to read Japanese, you probably can't play, but it's here, so. Going to the S's. All your Fantasy Stars. Powermonger. Man, I'd love to play through Powermonger on here. Used to play that on Atari ST. Shadow Dancer. I want you to know that Shadow Blasters is not on here. I have it physical and it's not on here. Very interesting. I wonder why that would be. Unless it's Shadow B, but I'm scared to know what that is. Doesn't look very official. It's a game. Oh, I don't know what this is. No, I think this is it. This is the Japanese version of it. This is it. This is it. This is the Mega Drive version. Sweet. So you pick a character. This is what's up, dude. This is the kind of gameplay that we just love. And these different colored power-ups mean different things. One's for weapons, one's for your speed, one's for your jump. Look at him charging up. Wadosha Scrooge! All kind of different amounts of charge up there. He's going straight up Mega Man on you. How great is this? Whoa, my God! Whoa! 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 And then it's permadeath, and you got to pick another character. Oh, she's flying. No, she's not. What in the world was that? I forgot they just spawned you in like that. Hadouken! Are you good? Very interesting, very intriguing. Sage's Creation, I believe, is who did this one. Probably it wasn't listed here, but the American version, you know, the translation. And these guys all have. This guy's like a lightning dude, you know. Whoosh. I think the blue power-ups are the jump, and then now the red is your shot. That makes sense. Oh, you good? Hadouken! It is, man. It's intriguing, and it gets even wilder. It mixes up genres so many times in the boss battles later on. Kind of got homing going on here. Yeah, I don't remember it being that way. It looked pretty good when we played it. Well, this guy's taking some licks for a first round boss. I'm not getting this pattern here, so Senshiru's gonna have to tag in. Early Mega Drive game. I mean, it was out for Genesis too, because I've got it. I don't know exactly when it came out. Another one of those ones that's like, oh my god, I own this? What is this? Those hands are blocking. This guy's weapon is not what we want done. And he's done. Finish the night with Joe Montana football. Man, I wish we had more time, but I'm afraid we are out of time for tonight. And I wanted to show you a little bit more exotic stuff, because obviously that's what once you continue, I think you get everybody back. So Double F, thanks for stopping by, man. We've pretty much concluded for the night. I want to thank everybody for stopping by tonight. We had a fantastic stream tonight. Got started a little late, but we still got to it. We got to look at some fantastic things. I hope some people learned some things tonight. If you didn't know about all these games, there's some really cool games here that you can check out. Wild Boy, thanks so much for stopping in. Just really interesting titles, some areas in which the Sega Genesis / Mega Drive does shine that you might not have actually looked at before. And on top of all that, again, we're talking about the Legends Flashback here from AtGames. It's on sale on Amazon and Walmart, I think still right now for $29. And drop another $5 for the dadgum SD card and you're home free. And then you got this great setup. So just a no-brainer, man. It's just, besides even the cool arcade versions that are on it that are really neat that I haven't seen anywhere else. I know, exactly. You add this on here and you're gonna have a good time. Everybody that enjoyed this, I hope that you're gonna drop a like on this. Everybody out there watching the recap, I hope that you're gonna drop a like on this if you've not already done so. I hope that you're gonna subscribe to the Emceemur Show. Be a part of Murder Nation. We're rising up all the fantastic things that we have going on right here on the Emceemur Show. You need to be a part to make sure that you smack that notification bell so you're always the first to know when new content goes live. You know that I love making it for you. We got a new vlog coming out later on this week. We're gonna be looking at some vintage game hunting. Second episode finally in that series coming out. Those episodes are a little bit more labor intensive. You know that I love to do them. I like to put them in detail and so you know what I got, how much it costs to get into the business, all the things behind it, all the things that I do. Just bringing you fantastic stuff on the show that I hope is entertaining, and that you'll tell me in the comment section below what you think about everything that we saw, because it's just fantastic having conversations with you guys, networking with everybody, and just that's why we're here. That's why we're here, guys. Signing out for now. I'll see each and every one of you again next time.